Yo, this is Teresa Weatherspoon, better known as Teaspoon, and you're watching Real Fans, Real Talk.
Live from the can. Vibe, you can.
This is Real Fans, Real Talk. Real Fans, Real Talk. We as real as you thought. Real fans.
What's going on? Welcome to another live edition of Real Fans, Real Talk. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a safe and prosperous New Year. My condolences to those that didn't make it to see another New Year. With that being said, though, I know it's Monday night. We're supposed to be getting back to it, but this is actually going to be a quick one tonight. For all of you guys that's in the DC area, I know how bad the snow is out there. So Eric's internet is out completely, so we're not going to record tonight, but I do see there's a couple of questions that came up into the chat. So what I will do is I will run through those questions in the chat, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. All right, big shout out to Tyson. I see you, man. Yes, Tyson be showing us so much love and support. Big shout out to you. I'm just gonna run through these in order, no particular order. Can anyone beat the Thunder? They passing all the big tests so far without Chet too. Yeah, they are. I was, when I told you guys a couple weeks ago I went to the Heat OKC game, I was really hoping that Chet was going to be back because I wanted to check his game out in person, be able to watch him play. But yeah, I mean, they beat the Knicks, who I believe are in the third seed right now in the Eastern Conference. They just beat the Celtics. They were home games though. And again, it is regular season. We don't put the end all be all on regular season games. They do count. But they don't count once the playoffs start. But I mean, this is really good for them because you need to know that you can compete with the top teams. It seems that you're most likely going to be seeing if you get to a Western Conference Finals, if you get to the NBA Finals. Boston is as the NBA champions, is definitely a team that you may see in the NBA Finals. Same thing with the Knicks. The Knicks are good enough to make it to an NBA Finals, so you may see the Knicks as well. So it's good to get those wins, get that confidence up, especially when you're doing it without your second best player in Chet Holmgren, who started off the year playing really well. I'm looking forward to seeing him get back on the court. But again, this is one game, 7-game series. I think there's teams that can definitely beat OKC in the 7-game series. But I think they're poised for a deep playoff run this year. And let me go to this next. Let me check if there's another NBA question before I just switch over. All right, so we're gonna go to football. Are the Lions the scariest team in the NFL? Offensively, maybe. If not, I don't. Who I say has a scary offense, or at least on that level. Buffalo, I think, has a scary offense. With Josh Allen playing like an MVP right now, maybe even the MVP of this season. Eagles, they got a really good offense with Saquon having an MVP season. And I probably would say Baltimore is the third team that's on that level offensively. But defensively, the Lions do give up points. So, I don't know about the scariest team in the NFL. They're probably the scariest team in the NFC. Obviously, the playoffs are going through Detroit, but I don't know about in the NFL. But they're one of the ones. I do believe they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I believe they have everything it takes to get to the Super Bowl. However, I would like to see a little bit more from the Lions defense because they can give up points. Obviously, they had a good game, and a good division game against the Minnesota Vikings to lock in the number 1 seed, not only in the NFC but also to win that division. So I love what I saw from them this past weekend against the Vikings. but I don't know. I don't know if they're the scariest team just because their defense is not on the same. Like if we're measuring things out, you know what I'm saying. Offense and defense, I just don't think they're on the same level. I think the defense is going to step their game up in the playoffs, especially. Um, Well, offensively, yeah, I mean, they may have arguably the best offense in football. You know what I mean? So, but we gonna see because again, the playoffs is a different animal. Remember we saw the Vikings head through the regular season, was it 2 years ago, and then lose in a wild card matchup at home versus the Giants. So we kind of got to see what's going on with how they do in the playoffs. Let's get through this. Let's get through this the second round because I think they're not going to be in the wild spot they ever bye this first week. But when the teams start to get narrowed down, let's see how they do then, and then we can come back and revisit this one. Tyson also says this Sam Darnold will get exposed. I don't know if you can really say he got exposed because this is like the first year we've actually said Sam Darnold was really good, was any good, So I don't know about exposed because, I mean, respectfully, his career hasn't been the best of careers. This was kind of like his resurgence year, much like what we saw with Geno and Seattle, 2 years ago, how we saw him, and that ultimately led to him getting, I guess, really the best contract he's ever received. But yeah, so I don't know about exposed. I mean, besides, like he had a bad game, if you want to call it a bad game, against the Lions. But generally, he's had a good season. I'm not going to say he was exposed just because one game in a division game at that. They took a bad loss. They still are 3 losses on the season, only 3 losses. So I wouldn't say he got exposed. And we'll see what he does in the playoffs this year. Listen, all they got to do to top what they did, that year when they lost to the Giants that I was just talking about is one playoff game. So it is what it is. Let me take this this last question, Tyson, and I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Again, if you're just joining us, Eric, who's in DC, they got about a foot and a half of snow out there, so his internet is completely out. But I did want to come on just to talk to you guys for a minute. I saw there was a couple of questions, so I said I would stay, run through these couple of questions. Oh, also, big shout out to the winner of the 2024-2025 Real Fans Real Talk Fantasy Football League. It's actually his second time winning the Fantasy Football League. Jonathan Jimenez. Big shout out to him. We're gonna have him on the show soon. So big shout out to Jonathan though on that one. And then finally, let me get to this last question. What's going on with Skip Bayless? Skip Bayless has found himself in a 42-page legal document saying that he propositioned, I guess they say, allegedly propositioned one of the stylists over at Fox. Again, this is new information, and you guys know we don't play to jump too early to speak on things. I need to see more information before I start speaking too much on the subject, but that's from what I've been reading. It's a 42-page legal document, and a part of that is allegedly Skip propositioning one of the stylists over at Fox. I hope, you know what I'm saying, I actually hope it's not true. I'm not the biggest Skip Bayless fan, you know what I mean? But I really hope that this isn't the case. With Skip Bayless, that's just crazy. If it is true, that's crazy. So I really hope it's not true. But again, I won't know until we have more facts out, and I don't want to speak further on it until we do have some more facts about the situation. Because again, this when you're talking about anything in the sexual assault realm, before you start speaking on things, you should have the facts. So I'll wait to speak on the whole Skip Bayless situation because again, this is very fresh. It's just got into the news cycle. So I'll wait and to speak on that until I have a little bit more information. With that being said, really quick, just for those of you who are just now tuning in, shout out to everybody on the Facebook and on the YouTube channel. Big shout out to Cliff. Um, I would love to see Ravens Eagles in the Super Bowl this year. That would really just make my year to start this year off. But we're gonna see. Both the Ravens and the Eagles would have to do their part and make it to the Super Bowl in order for that to happen. We start off with Pittsburgh. So I'm looking forward to that one. A nice little rivalry game, division game to start the wild card of the playoffs. Obviously, you guys already know I don't go against my Ravens. So obviously I'm picking the Ravens to win that game. You guys know the Chiefs and the Lions. I spoke about the Lions earlier, but the Chiefs also have that first round bye. So the rest of the games in the AFC, you'll have the Bills going up against the Broncos. I'm taking the Bills in that game. I don't even think this is going to be close. Shout out to Bo Nix. But I'm going with Bills. Too much experience. Josh Allen having an MVP season. I got to go Buffalo in that game. And then the last game, the AFC side of things, is going to be Texans versus the Chargers. I'm kind of leaning towards the Chargers in this one. I don't know. The Texans have struggled this year. We didn't get, I thought CJ Stroud was going to come out the gate and be cooking just like he was this past season, his rookie season, but that wasn't the case. So I'm taking. I think I want to take the Chargers in that game. I like what they've done to have lost, all of the pieces that the Chargers lost this offseason. You don't bring back Mike Williams. You don't bring back Keenan Allen. You also they lose their starting running back as well. So see them bounce back, still get a playoff spot, still get to the to the fifth seed in a very tough AFC. Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. I think Will's shout out to Will Good. I think his guy Jay Herbo gets the wild card win and they move on. Fortunately, though, if that does happen, they'll be playing the Chiefs in the next round, in which case I do think they'll be going home. Chiefs needed this rest. They didn't play. I think they must play the third string guys in that last game of the season, so they should be well rested coming into going into the second round. They'll have enough tape on either one of these teams, whichever team wins this game. They'll have enough tape on. I do have the Chargers going home. In the second round. On the NFC side. You got Rams versus the Vikings. This is the coin toss game for me. I think this is probably going to be the closest game out of every game this weekend, just because the Rams are actually healthy now. They weren't healthy for the most part this season, whether it was Puka missing games, whether it was Cooper Kupp missing games, Kyren Williams, somebody was just missing games, so they haven't been completely healthy. They've been healthy for the most part the second half of the season. And again, going into Minnesota, it's not an outside game, so this is actually a dome game. So I think the Rams have a good chance to upset the Vikings. And again, you remember the last time the Vikings, uh, you know, had that wild card matchup. They lost to the Giants. So we'll see. But I think I'm leaning towards the Rams in that one. And then we got the Buccaneers who managed to win the South. Great game for those guys. Shout out to Mike Evans too, for breaking Jerry Rice's record for consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. And shout out to the Bucks because they did what you're supposed to do as a football team, and they made sure that Mike Evans got all of his bonuses. I love that about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Unlike the Dallas Cowboys, who stopped Cooper Kupp from getting his $500,000 bonus by giving Trey Lance to start this weekend. You know what I mean? That kind of sucks for him. I was like, yo, I didn't have $8,000. You could at least give my man his $500,000. But it is what it is. That's Dallas for you. But they will be playing the Commanders. I'm interested. This is gonna be another one of those games to watch because this is gonna be a coin toss game as well. If I gotta do a quick fast pick, I'm gonna say Washington wins this game, but this is a toss-up game, and again, I'm not 100% sure. But if quick, it's like, yo, you gotta answer right now. I'm gonna say Washington. As the week goes on, I may feel differently about that because again, this game and that Rams Vikings game are both for me toss-up games, as well as the Texans Chargers game in the AFC. But I still had the Chargers winning that one. And then last, you got the Eagles. They'll be playing the Packers. Not sure as of yet if Christian Watson is going to be back for that game. Obviously, you guys saw he went down with an injury. So I'm not sure if he'll be back. But we will see. But either way, I think if he's there or not, as much as I despise the Eagles, I still am picking the Eagles to win that game, to beat the Green Bay Packers pretty easily, I think. As much as the Eagles actually they better win. Like the Eagles have no choice but to win because after you guys decided not to play Saquon in that last game, let him break Eric Dickerson's record. And again, I don't know if that was the team or if that was Saquon. He was just like, yo, you know what? Let's just rest and let's get ready for the playoffs. I don't know whose decision it was, but whoever it was, y'all decided to rest Saquon. Y'all have no choice but to win this game. Y'all walk our game because if you rested Saquon and then you guys lose in the wild card to the Packers, oh my goodness, that folks are gonna be sick behind it. Y'all fans are gonna be sick. It's like, yo, we could have easily got Eric Dickerson's record. You know what I mean? And 101 yards for Saquon is like, man, he wake up and get 10 yards. You know what I'm saying? Just hopping out the bed, he get 10 yards. So to have, opportunity for him to break a record that's been standing for so long, you know what I'm saying, and he doesn't do it, and then you guys losing the wild card would be crazy. So y'all better win that wild card matchup. Big shout out to Saquon. No, we know, you know what I'm saying, we know the real. Like first, if Saquon wanted that record, he would have had that record. So big shout out to Saquon for that. It is what it is. Excuse me. All right. All right. So let me get ready to get up out of here, guys. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap things up. I gave y'all my picks. I'll try to say maybe Eric might want to do a Friday night this week. Hopefully his internet will be back, and if he does, I'll get on the Friday night show, the Sanchez show with him, the opinionated ones with him and Will Gordon this weekend to kind of go through my picks one more time. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You see it right there. And all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, @RealFanTalk. You see it right there scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And of course, Facebook.com/Real Fans Real Talk. And if you're not in the New York City area Thursday nights, and you can't watch us on Verizon 43, do not worry. You can watch us from anywhere in the world. Just click on the link, go to realfansrealtalk.com, click on that red button on the homepage, and you guys can watch from anywhere in the world. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to both the Sanchez Show and the Real Fans Real Talk podcast, streaming on all major platforms. So support the gang, man. Support us, man. We here. Next week we'll probably have a nice little surprise for you guys as well. A little late Christmas gift as well. With that being said, though, for myself, Trip Young, my brother Eric Sanchez in his absence. Oh, big shout out to the family Cortez. He just got back in the ring on that Chrome 23 card, which is Remy Ma's Battle League, and he was cooking. We're gonna bring Cole back very soon to chop it up with you guys as well. But salute to my bro Cortez on that one, getting back in the ring. And shout out to my guy Nesto G's as well, man. All right. With that being said, for myself, Trip Young, we up out of here. Peace.
This is Deion Grant from the New York Giants, Super Bowl champ, and you're watching Real Fans Real Talk.
Live from the can. Vibe the can.
This is Real Fans Real Talk. Real Fans Real Talk. We as real as you thought. Real